Hi there, Kohana here. Today I want to talk about the anime The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World. I know it's a super long title, but so far I've seen episodes 1 through 4, but today I want to talk about episodes 1 through 3 and save 4 through 6 because I think 6 is out now. Save 4 through 6 for another video because there's a lot to cover. In episode 1, the anime does a good job of giving us a taste of the world. They show a bit of the characters, which I have to say, I've seen Redo Hero, a little bit of it, and this is a massive contrast compared to, well, obviously it's a massive contrast compared to Redo Hero. But one thing I did notice besides, the anime being very ecchi was that Redo Hero actually had some pretty decent concepts and writing in it, despite the ecchi themes of them. And we can see that once again translated in this anime. The reason why I say that is, for example, in episode 1, they technically introduced the 4 main cast in just 1 minute of dialogue instead of overloading our brains in episode 1 with a lot of information about the characters and what they're doing and things of that nature. They kind of show us more than tell us. Like, for example, one thing that hasn't been answered but makes me think about it because of the theme of the anime is the anime starts off with focusing on a girl who appears to be dolled up. We find out pretty quickly that the girl and many other are being sold off. Another thing they pointed out, which kind of gives us a peek into the politics of the world, was that one of the main issues was that this aristocrat that was hosting these auctions, she was actually selling off people from a different country, which could possibly cause a big political dispute between the two countries. Which makes me wonder one thing in particular. Would this whole slavery issue be an issue if it was people, in lower class families that were within the world's country, their world's country? Or would it still be an issue because they disapprove of slavery? Because that's one thing that seems to be not exactly touched upon. And from what I've seen, they haven't really answered that question yet. Later on in episode 1, they show us the main character, Luke, and they show us he used to be a assassin in his previous world, which was pretty cool. I mean, one really cool fact that I did like that they added into the anime was the fact that despite many other animes, from the top of my head that I could think of from the animes I know of, like Sword Art Online, where the main character, I think Kirito, was early college age. Log Horizon, Shiro, I think he was also college age, while some of the other protagonists such as Subaru from ReZero, he was actually high school age. And some of the other main characters that we see, and also Shield Hero kind of expanded a pretty decent age range. They don't really say it in the anime, but if you read the light novel in Shield Hero, all 4 heroes are from different age range, from middle school to high school, and the main character and the spear hero are actually college level students. So that's interesting. But for this one, we actually have a main character who isn't in school, isn't in college. He's a very old man. Like, he looks like he could possibly be in his 60s or older. So that's a really interesting concept to touch upon, because unlike the main characters from the other animes based on isekais, where they use the limited knowledge they know from their life, from high school or from college, this character has lived through all of that, including with the other knowledges he knows to assist him in assassination. So we have a character who is very, very knowledgeable that's getting transported to another world, which I think is a really, really interesting concept. You don't really see adult age characters being the main characters in isekais in particular. For the first time ever, we see the main character not get killed by, not by Bus-kun, not by Train Senpai. No. For the first time that I can think of, the main character is killed off on an airplane Nissan. Which the main character, he was killed off because of the fact that he knew too much, which unfortunately when he mentioned he was retiring, I was like, yeah, you're gonna retire, alright. And it was interesting that they decided to kill him without saying anything, which I guess I can understand. In most spy movies or movies related themes, they don't tell the assassin, hey, we're gonna kill you, we're not gonna let you retire. He mentioned after he died that he was so loyal to the organization that he would have died on their command. So it was super interesting. And then we get the hook of the show, which is the goddess of this show. She actually wants the main character to assassinate the hero of the world she's going to transport him to. That leads to episode 2, which is super interesting. Episode 2 kind of gives us a bit more peek into the mechanics of the new world that the main character is going to be transported into. They show the different skills that normal character in that world would have compared to how overpowered the hero is, which is really interesting. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be way later into the series that we get a chance to see the hero. But it's a lot to look forward to because it gives us a very good idea of how hard this task is going to be. They also give us the rules of the conditions. Like the goddess mentioned, I think it was 4 years after he turns 18 that he has to assassinate the hero. And the main reason why was because the hero is actually going to be the destruction of that world. Now, one thing that I was thinking of, and I'm kind of jumping a little bit ahead from a different episode, but the question still needs to be asked. Does the goddess have the knowledge of that world being destroyed because the world has been destroyed before and she just resetted it? And she's in a situation where no matter how many times she resets the world, because the hero exists, the world is destined to be destroyed, and that's why she has to call forth people to take care of it? That's an interesting question. And once again, it seems like because of the really good writing of this show, they may answer it. I'm going to quickly jump ahead to episode 3 because episode 3 was actually the most information-based heavy part of it, which is they introduce one of the main characters, Dia. Luke has mastered quite a few of the skills he needed in that world for assassination, including like this special ability related to their eyes to be able to see magic and also to zoom in and out of areas almost like a telescope. Anyway, they introduced Dia, which is, I love Dia. To be honest, she's such a cute character. And they do a good job of making her very childlike in her personality and the way she talks and acts. In that episode, it seems like Luke is actually enjoying being a kid all over again. You know, learning all the different mechanics of magic. They go into more details about magic, which that episode explains a lot, because in episode 1, when Thea Tarty, the blonde haired girl, were lighting that room up like a Christmas tree, I was thinking the whole time, the guards, why aren't you firing back? Because I would think guns are a luxury item that, you know, aristocrats would have. But for some reason, they weren't firing back. My answer is given in episode 3. That's because Luke invented magic to summon guns, which also explains once again in episode 1 when you see Tarty carrying the pistol unlike Dia. The answer was probably because either Luke or Thea created the gun and gave it to her because she has no ability to create it herself, since this is new magic. It also explains that Luke, because of the skill he picked up, he can create new spells, but unless he teaches it to another person, they can't learn it on their own, which is a super cool concept and a good power balance. Anyway, the episode ends with Luke giving Thea a dagger, which is made out of a metal from his world. Overall, this anime is really good, and they do a good job of leaking information a little bit at a time and answering questions for us. So I look really forward for more episodes and what's to come in this anime. And I hope you guys check it out too. Stay aboard for more episodes because it seems like it's going to be super interesting. And I'm surprised when we get all this good writing, and as pretty as this anime is, we get it from a person who did a anime that was pure ecchi, which makes me think that Redo Hero was just maybe a practice round for them or just a hobby project for them, and this is the real McCoy that they really wanted people to get their eyes upon. Artwork that you're seeing in the background is actually from a screenshot from the show. Since I couldn't exactly put the original screenshot up, I wanted to let you know because I'm kind of new on digital art. So most of the time when I don't know what to draw, which I don't think is a bad habit, I pick up a screenshot and I just try to draw it in my own style, in my own coloring style. And this is me kind of goofing around with Critter, trying to figure out how to digitally color. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion of the world's finest assassin, and I hope you guys stick around so we can talk more about it. If I've missed anything super interesting that you want to mention in the comment section below. But please don't spoil episode 4, 5, or 6 that's already out. Video was focusing on episode 1, 2, and 3. Anyway, you guys have a great evening. Bye.